So we are going to learn something nice, fun, 10 minutes. You become a master at archiving and transferring files. Okay. So the tar command is a command that works with a tar, okay, the hyphen, and that's all you got to do. The V is optional. F is compulsory. That's what this documentation is telling us. So F stands for whatever you'll see in front of this, the file, okay, the file that you are trying to archive, file.tar. So the way this works is this: the tar command, right, works with a flag. This is a flag, okay. We put the flag dash. You guys have been seeing CP minus R. So this is called a flag, okay? And it says it's optional because in some distros, you don't even have to use this flag anymore, okay? You don't have to even put that. But because it is back compatible, it's good to use the flag. So in this flag now, you are going to do what? You're basically saying that this is the command. This is the Linux command. Let me erase everything else. This is very easy, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to love this part. It's going to take us 15, 20, maximum 20 minutes. And you'll really have fun with this. So Linux, okay? And with Linux, we have a Linux command. We have a Linux command, right? This is Linux command. Like all the commands we've been learning, ls, right? ls and all the other commands we've been learning, pwd. Well, we have a command called tar. Then you have a flag, okay? You have a flag. And then you have what they call arguments, argument, okay? So we're going to pass an argument to it. C stands for create, right? That means create. I'm about to create something, right? V, and trust me, we we have a hard time pronouncing V. Our V sounds like a W, but you have to forgive me. Uh, verbose. Verbose means, what does this mean? It means when you're executing this, show me, show me everything, show me. Basically, you're telling Linux, hey, when I hit enter, show me what's going on. What are all the steps being executed? We're going to start using verbose a lot more because we are getting into advanced Linux very soon. We are almost at that point. And then F. So we are saying create verbosely a file. This F has to be always at the end. If you make a mistake and put the F over here, this command will not work. You can switch these two around, but you cannot switch this one. This always has to have this position. It has to be always at the end, always, because the command goes this way. It says, this is a command, hyphen. The argument is, I want to create it. I want to be able to see what you're creating. And let's go to the file. F is the file. So now, let me remove this. Let me remove this. Okay. Are we clear? So now we are going to say that out of this one, we are going to have a file, a file that we will create. This create is going to create that file. All right. What is the file it's going to create? It's going to create a file called tar. So that is what create did. Create created a file called file.tar, right? And this is the most popular terminology you're going to hear called tarball, a tarball. This is the acronym, a tarball. Okay, like like everything is bundled, basically bundled. You're going to bundle you can compress. So this is a tar ball. Very easy, very easy. Of what? Of, let us say, you want this to be created for your etc folder, AETC. This is the existing folder. This is existing. So you are creating a file. You're creating a file called whatever name you want to give that file, but the extension has to be tar because this is a tar command. And this is the existing file. Okay. So you can see over here we have tar-create. We have data.tar of something called app, but we are going to use a real example. We're going to use the etc as an example. This is a folder. This is a directory that we all know exists in Linux. It's a huge directory, huge. It's a very big directory, right? Huge. Lot of data. So we are trying to create a ball of this directory. And let us see how we're going to do it. All right? That's all we're doing. Any questions? No questions. Let's do it and then we'll see how it works. So this is number one. This is command number one is this way. Command number one is this way. Command number two, after we create the ball, right? After we create the ball, we can do two things. So one is once we have done here is we have created it, created. After you have created this, you would like to view, right? You want to view what's inside the ball. So we created a ball, right? We created a file called file.tar. We have created the ball, the tar ball. We want to see inside it. What is inside this file, this ball? How do I look inside the ball? So for that one, you have a command, again, which will be tar, and you're going to use the second one, T, hyphen T, right? You have hyphen T and F, hyphen TF. Now, you can also use this optional V, meaning you can still use this TVF if you want to do it like that. But more popular in the IT industry, because you're not really interested, you just want to view them, it's going to show you just the T and the F. So we have picked up the T and we have picked up the F in the end. TNF of what? TNF of file dot tar. Okay. And the third thing and the final thing in tar is number 3 is if you want to extract it, just like we do extraction. Early on, Azim took a file and he said, oh, let me extract it. Let me unzip it. You guys know the word unzip, right? Is an extraction, right? So you can say tar, command didn't change, flag X is for extraction, F. Of what? Of what you're trying to extract? Of the file that you created up here, .tar. So step 1, you created a tar. What does the tar contain? What does this ball contain? All of this existing files are here inside it. It contains all the etc files inside it. They're inside the ball. We were able to view it. Okay. We are able to view it and we are able to extract it to bring it back to normal if you want it to the way it is in our folder. So that's all we're going to do. We're going to do some 3 very simple things and we're done. 3 commands to run, 3 commands only. If you understand this, and you follow what I'm doing, you will have no issues. All right. Let me show you now. I'm just going to go down. I'm not going to waste my time. So you have this slide and you have this slide and you have this slide and tar zip and unzip and practice lab. I'm going to put you a new practice lab, right? You can see here, create a bundle, extract a bundle, use zip. Don't worry about it. Don't get confused. I'm going to reload these files in an easy sequence for you. We even have a new command called the zcat command. We can see. But right now, we're going to do this very fast, very quick in 5 minutes to show you something. And the show, I need to go into CMD. Where is CMD? Okay. Okay. So I'm in my guacamole machine. Okay. No big deal. Now follow this very quickly, right? So the first thing we're going to do is if we go to CD and check here, we have a directory called Etsy. And if you notice, compared to the other directories, this seems to have 8192 kilobytes is showing. It's got a lot of data, right? We want to create a backup of this file Etsy. Okay. All right. Very straightforward. Will take us 10 minutes. Understand this very clearly what we are trying to do. All right. Now, let us first of all make, okay. Now, if you look at this, sorry, I'm going to make a directory -p in the OPT. Remember I talked about we're going to start using OPT. OPT is used by all applications. Guacamole, anything I'm installing, anything you want to do, you want to do backups, you can take OPT or you can take MNT. MNT. So, Mr. Oseni, root ABC, and you're able to log in. Can you go and log in now?
Okay, I will do that right now.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. ABC is your password. And while I was recovering this, a lot of this is mounted on MNT. Okay, you're good. You're good. Your password is good right now. Your machine is running, so you should be able to log in. So I'm gonna use OPT. I can use MNT. Okay, you can use MNT or OPT. So I'm gonna give a path which is gonna be my OPT on my. Or I'll use MNT because of my guacamole files are on OPT. So I'll just use MNT for now. I have so many files on OPT. My application is on there. You can see, for example, let me show you CD OPT. Look at that. Guacamole. CD guacamole. Some people like to call it guacamole. In Texas, there's a food called guacamole. So maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. See all your files when you guys are having problems. Create a Guac students, you have a Docker Compose, you're going to learn all of this, right? I'm running this application of Guacamole on Linux machine. Okay. This is the most powerful thing that Linux offers me. All that guacamole, everybody says, I want to go, all the files are here. And where is the PWD? What's the PWD? Look at that. OPT guacamole. Nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, have I gone and seen any boot camp in which they have actually shown you an enterprise level issue. When you join a real job, companies are running their applications on OPT, okay? Like we are running it on OPT, right? So let me just come out of there and let me go CD clear, CD root LL, OPT. I have guacamole files running on OPT, right? Or guacamole, whichever you like. But because I have my application there, I want to use MNT. MNT is your option for mounting. Okay, much better option. So let me go into MNT, mkdir hyphen p MNT, and I'm going to call it backup. Okay. So if I go into MNT, I have a directory called backup. Okay. So I'm going to go into this directory, the backup directory. All right. So now, why did I do that? That's because of my practice lab that I'm creating here. And in reality, we are going to do this when we do NFS. So I'm showing you that you can go and put some things in your backup. And we are going to learn NFS next week, courtesy of Khalid Khan, who provided me all the files. He did all the troubleshooting. He spent 4 or 5 hours with me. Uh, may God bless him, to help out that NFS thing, which was just a pain for me. NFS, ladies and gentlemen, NFS is network file share. Network file share. What does that mean? This machine here is 192.168.1.227. This is a guacamole machine, guacamole. And you will see that there are a lot of logs, coming. This is a real machine, okay? Real machine. All of you have been using this guacamole. Everybody in my team has asked me, why are we using guacamole? Why? We don't see people use. No, ladies and gentlemen, because the reason from day one I have you all using this is because it's a real machine. This is not some fake, uh, um, show me 10 projects that are not real. This is a real machine serving a real purpose, having real logs. Now I can take this and demonstrate to you in a real company how real applications run, on what path of the files they run on, how logs are created for these real machines. How do we manage these logs? We have a real machine, not some fake. Let me open a file, call it practice lab.101. You will never learn anything from that way. What you are going to learn is the real stuff. Now, this is the machine that I'm on right now, right? This is my machine that you're seeing in front of you. I have created here a folder called MNT / backup. Okay. We have created this MNT / backup. We are going to demonstrate to you next week that we have another machine over here that has another IP 192.168. Okay. I'm going to choose one. .1. I don't know yet, whatever that IP is going to be, right? And this machine here will be dedicated for our backup. What does that mean? So if I create I have logs. I have a bunch of logs here. Okay, logs. If I connect this machine and this machine, if I can connect them through NFS, file share, file share, I'm going to move everything that I have sitting on this one over to this side. I'll move all the logs here. These will move over here. And I can delete this and clean up my machine. And now this machine will become my backup. Okay. So we'll do about all of that. We'll talk about all that. First of all, let's move on to the first step. Okay. So I've created a backup folder and taken a little bit more than 20 minutes, but we're going to run the commands now and we'll be done. So in case anybody wants to blame me for taking more time, that's fine. So we have PWD, LL, we have a backup. Now, let's go into the var log, and let's look at how many messages. Now, under var log, we have a bunch of messages, and let's pick up one message. Look at all these messages. Okay. Now, what do I want to do with them? I want to create a tar file. I want to tarball them. Okay. That's what I want to do. tar, flag, create verbosely a file, a new file. What am I going to call this file? Message.log.tar. I'm creating a new file. That's the name for that file, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say of what. So I want to take everything that's here, everything. I want to ball this up. Like you go to the laundry. In my laundry basket, I've got this. You need to go to the uh, you want to give them a bag, right? This is my basket. I want all of these messages in a ball. I want to put them in a ball. So I'm going to put them in a ball by saying that we're going to have these um, before we do the tar, right? I got to do PWD. So I'm sitting in the right folder. So I'm going to create a tar. I'm going to create it, and that's going to be called message.log.tar, right? I could even just call it tar, message.tar if I want to call it, right? But we want to be consistent. It's a log. So just like message.txt, message.sh, message.visual studio. So this is a log. That's why I'm putting a log here. All right. Dot log, and here's the tar. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the message that I have over there, which is message, right? I think this is just message. We don't have any dot log. These ones are dot log. So okay, let's take the ones for dot log. Let's take the one for dot logs. We have these ones for dot log here. DNF.log, hockey.log. Okay, we'll do hockey. We'll talk about hockey later on. But we have hockey.log. Hockey.log.tar, right? And we can become hockey, right? Dot log, and I'll put the star. Anybody doesn't understand this? Very simple. We're 10 minutes out. We're going to wrap it up. I created a tar. Okay, you can see the tar over here. I'm creating a file. Here is the whole file. I'm creating it here. And this is a file. F stands for file. And this is the existing file. Like I said early on to you, this is the existing file. This is already existing. Where is it existing? They're existing here. Existing. Okay. So these are over here. Existing over here. Right? That is the syntax. Syntax. So you'll have to play with it, practice it, and understand how to do it right. Okay, so
Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. For the purpose of clarification, the star means white card. Then everything that has to do with log,
Yes, sir.
right?
Thank you. Thank you. The star means wild card, everything that has to do with hockey and any logs connected to hockey.log. So let's go up and see. The first one is hockey.log. It's going to pick up that one. Then we have log, and then we have star. The star is going to pick up this. The star is going to pick up this. The star means I'm picking anything after the log. So I have a bunch of things, and that's a very good question. The star over here, rightfully asking that question, means all of these ones that are ahead of log. Thank you.
You're
Now,
welcome.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. Great, great. Keep asking. Please don't hesitate. I'm not getting mad with any questions. We need more questions. The more questions, the better for learning. Here, enter. Okay, let's go and enter it. Aha. What did it do? tar-cv, hockey, and ran. It took all of those files and created a tar. Okay. Where is the tar? Okay. Where is the tar? Let's look at it. There is the tar. It took all of them and created a ball. Now you got the ball in front of you. If you want to see inside this ball, right? If you just want to see uh, grab, okay, well, hold on a second. So let's go here. This is the ball. I want to see what's inside this tar ball. Tar hyphen TF, okay? And I can just highlight this and come down here and right click 2 times, okay? Go with your left mouse, press the left side of the button and you got this, and right click 2 times and you're here, right? Enter. Guess what? I'm able to view. Actually able to view everything. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, let us move this one, okay? Let us move this ball. I want to go ahead and move this ball. Where do I want to move it, ladies and gentlemen? My goal is to move this file, I'm sitting in the folder varlog, right? Varlog. And under this varlog, I have a ball called hockey.log.tar. This is the file. I want to move it out. Where do I want to move it? I would like to move this file from this location, okay, from this location A, and I want to, so from here, from this location, and I want to move it to a location called MNT. I want to move it, sorry, uh, into MNT / backup. Okay, and I want to dump it underneath here. I want to bring this file and put it underneath the backup. Okay, that's my goal. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm
Nadeem,
just
my
gonna
quick
go.
question. Is there any
Uh,
specific reason we are copying in the MNT folder?
yes, sir. The reason why we're doing that is because one of the biggest goals in our goal of learning this is we are learning how the logs are generated, and then remember the logs are in the var folder. The var folder is increasing in size. We want to move these files out. We don't want to delete them. We want to take them out and we want to move them out of the server. So it's like you have trash in your house. Okay, you put it in a bundle, right? Your wife says, put it in the car and take it out, move it to another location. So you're cleaning your house constantly with the var folder. So constantly you're cleaning things out. You're removing these files. So that's why we are moving them to a backup folder. Later on, we are going to show you how you can remove it from one server. All that balls can be transferred over to another server. Make sense? हम एक सर्वर से दूसरे सर्वर में
Y-
इनको मुंतकिल कर
Yeah,
देंगे.
yes, I get
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
why the MNT folder? Why not some other folder? I'm
So
just curious. There's a lot of folders there.
yeah, when you work for a company, you will find out every company has uh, their own style of doing things. A lot of companies, for example, would just go right here. There's a company here in Houston. Their backup folder for SAP HANA, they had it something like this: mkdir-p, and they had HANA underscore backup. And if you looked at their file, uh, you would see HANA underscore backup in the root directory. That's how they wanted it, right? And they were able to grab this backup and they were able to do what is known as through network file transfer, NAS. They were able to just uh, copy these files out. So they were using a different terminology. What were they doing? Let me tell you what they were doing. This is a company out of Houston, Texas. They had a problem with the machine. I was there for 2 weeks, fixed them. Their team in India could not fix it. So they found me in town and they asked me to come over. So I went over there and I noticed that their back. I asked them where's the backups. So we keep all our backups in the root directory. They like to keep it in the root directory. Okay. Most companies that are working with, because HANA to them was a fixed software, but most of the files of SAP HANA were running in OPT. So they did not want to mix OPT and MNT folders because they were already filling these up with application files. So their application files were heavily tied into this two folders. So they decided as a philosophy, if we accidentally delete something in OPT, accidentally delete something in MNT in the backup, our whole application will go down. And that is not something they can afford to do that. So they decided, let's create the backup in the main directory, the root. I'll put the root here. So there is a philosophy behind all of this. Every company has a different philosophy. You, if you're running your company tomorrow or working for a company, you'll have to find out where are the backups. Okay. Some companies you'll go and they say, well, our backup is in the temp folder. We keep the system admins keep it in the temp. So you're keeping a backup in the temp. Yeah, it's not critical machines. These are non-critical dev machines. Okay, these are development machines, developer machines. We don't really, because developers are changing code every day. We don't need to be saving. Imagine you make a mistake in your document. You are typing your name, we're typing your name Ebi, EBI, and oh, I typed it as EBIA by accident. Oh, let me change A. Let me save the file again. Now you. And how many backups do you need of development? You don't really need a lot of backups. So they keep their backups under temp, right? For development environment. Now, as you go into production environment, production is a serious name, serious game, right? This is your customer is facing this. So there's a philosophy behind how you are trying to do a backup. Okay, backup and then restore, right? We're going to talk about backup and restore, right? One of the things that I wanted to teach you, which is also part of the slides, is uh, at the enterprise level, we can leave it for today. So it doesn't take our time and we can finish this tarball. So you can put it in MNT, which is very common. You can put it in OPT, which is very common. People don't usually use this user var. Var is already logging. Var is the folder that is having the problem. So I don't want to delete it. So var is where the problem is. We are trying to move things out of var into either of these folders or out of var into this folder. Make sense? This is what we are
Yeah,
trying to do. We are trying to
that's right.
remove all.
Okay.
Trying to remove all these logs that are filling up this file and moving them out into MNT or OPT or directly create a backup up here.
Yeah.
And you will see why. Why? And there is one way called NFS. Okay. A second way is called rsync. Okay, rsync, SCP. We're going to learn about that. And SFTP. Okay, we're going to learn all of these in one shot. All of these we're going to learn together with this. So one company decides to use, they are deciding to use only this method. This company maybe decides to use the NFS method. So there are two ways to move the files out from system A. If this is your system A, to move it to system B, you have two ways to do it. One is NFS. Two is to use this method. NFS, rsync, SCP, copy it out. SCP means nothing. CP means copy. Copy all the files from here, move them over here, copy them over. That's all. It's very simple. So companies have different ways of looking at things. Okay? Are you clear?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Very good. Very good question. Again, so we have so in our case, we don't have a HANA running. We do have Guacamole running in OPT. because I'm on Guacamole machine. I don't want to disturb the files in Guacamole. They're all in OPT. I have decided to use MNT. The better choice for me should have been to come up here and just created a folder or backup here. Okay. So, but I want to show you, I don't want you to use the root as always the main place, because if I teach you day one, put your backup in your root directory. Okay. You don't want to do that. And there are some reasons why. We will learn about disk management. It's a whole subject called disk management. Why, where you can put what you want to put. Okay, now that's fine. Let's not go too deep at the moment, but at least you understand the broad picture. Now, a PWD, okay, so we have a folder called a var log filling up, and we have a tarball sitting over here. I would like to move this tarball over here. I'm just going to move it. Where am I going to move it? Where am I going to move it? Hassan, the Dallas, MNT,
Slash
MNT,
backup.
backup.
Slash backup.
Thank you. All right. Now, let me go into the backup. There it is. I have now got my folder over here. Okay, look at. So now we're going to learn 3 easy things from this point on. Okay. Now we are going to do one more thing. This is a tarball, still kind of big. That's a large file still in kilobytes, megabytes, whatever that is going to come out to be. Now we are going to take 3 simple steps to understand this in and out. So what are we going to do? We have looked at this in terms of let's look inside here. Let's PWD. I want to view everything inside here. TF, okay, and I can just look inside here. Aha, all the files are there. Good, perfect. And we have a command called md5sum. You can run that command, and it's going to tell you this is the look at the last digits 61F68. Now, if I go into where the original file, well, I already moved it. I've already moved it. Okay, so we don't need this command right now. So we'll just go. This is where we are. Now the next thing, how do we extract the file? tar-x verbosely f. I can extract everything here. Look at that. I've extracted the file just like in Windows. Your original file is still there, and you have all your extracted files over here, right? Why did I create a backup? Because I can delete this whole folder and clean up my work and walk away from this class today. Okay, everything I'm dumping in here, I'm going to just go and delete the backup, and my file folder is clean. That's how you do testing. Now the extraction is done. We have 2 more things to do. 2 more very important things to do. We are going to learn about something called gzip. Gzip compression. Okay. Now let's try gzip compression. Tar hyphen, right?
I had a question.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. I just wanted to ask why the tar file is larger than all the other files combined.
Because it is not compressed yet. It's just a ball. It's an aggregate. What you got tar, the tar ball is just a ball. It's an archiving. It's okay. Very good question. Very good question again. It's very deep at the concept of tar. So a lot of people think that tar means compression. Tar doesn't mean compression. Tar means archiving. What is archiving? Meaning you are taking all of these books that you have got, okay, and you are putting them in a little box. right? So you're putting them inside a box. This is tar, right? That's why it is called like a tar ball, meaning basically you have put them in a ball. So obviously you're going to have this, you have this plus this plus this plus this. So the size is going to be an aggregate of all. Make sense? The size is going to be the total size of what is inside the ball, right?
Oh,
If you
does
take a
the Danny, does the ball also has a size? Because when you sum up, it's kind of less.
no, there is some nuances in let's go through this a little bit more. Don't too deep dive into the size part of tar.
Okay.
What tar does is it bundles everything up. Okay. If you want to prove that the bundle size is the same as this, because remember we said that this is not an exact. This is there is a command we are going to use, a real command, a du command that is going to show us what's inside exactly. This has a lot to do with inodes. It has to do a lot with how the disk is partitioned and how it is reading a block. So don't go into that. This math is not an exact math. This math is a rough math. If you see
Okay.
240 here and you see 240 here, you know that something is wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're seeing a higher number anyway. Okay?
Yeah. Mhm.
It doesn't
Right.
necessarily mean that these are exactly added as a mathematical order. These are sizes and block sizes on the disk. When we get to disk management, we are going to pick up this whole column again and go into the depth of it. That's why I haven't talked a lot about disk management. I keep saying disk management. Okay, we have touched upon this on the early slides. I kind of talk about it. I'm going to produce that slide again for you guys when we do disk management. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very
You're,
much.
you're welcome. So think of tar ball as a bundle. Okay, so now you got your bundle. What do you do with the bundle? Your goal is to now zip the bundle. Now you want to compress it. You got your bundle and now you want to do the compression on this bundle. Okay, in order to do this compression on this bundle, let me move that. Okay, so very easy. Tar hyphen create. I'm going to create a bundle. I can create that bundle verbosely, and I can create this bundle with Z or Z F. Remember in the past, we just created the tar with this one. Now I've added, do not put the Z here or the Z here. King and queen in English. Don't put F must always stay at the end. So you want to put the Z, which stands for G zip. What are we going to G zip here? Okay. So we are going to G zip what we have in OPT. And remember, always give the absolute path if you can. Do not try the relative path. Sometimes the tar commands tend to have problems. So in archiving, don't do second guessing. Are you archiving? You need to be very clear your paths are going to be. Don't try to guess, I'm here, PWD, where am I? You just need to locate where is this ball, the tar ball located, right? It's under backup very clearly. What is it called? We know it is called this one, right? Perfect. Now, um, should I do it with the etc folder? Did we use etc or did we use the okay, we can use the log. I wanted to use the etc actually as an example. But that is I don't know. Okay. Um, should we do that or not? Let me see. Okay, we could just go with this. Let's continue with this. I'll put that in the practice lab for all of you using the etc folder. I wanted to use etc. Okay, let's go with the logs. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Logs is a good one to use. Now, okay, so what we have here is we are going to do a compression, right? With the tar.gz. Okay, that's our goal. That we want to do the tar.gz to apply here. Um, um, let me see. Let me see if I can go with it. Give me a minute here. Give me a minute here. Oh, give me a minute here. Let me look at my notes here. I do not want to. Let's see. We do the backup of the Etsy, or should I use the logs? Um, okay. Let me see. ZF, Etsy, or the backup. Uh, did we do the backup of the tar or the Etsy as well? Okay. So let us do it this way, right? Um, so what we have here, okay, what we have here is if we do a GZ uh, of the tar dot GZ, okay, of, let's try that. Let's try that. I wanted to try that of will I be able to okay, so what I have to do here is I can do it with the tar. I would have to do it with okay. So what I would have to do here is I have to go this route. Okay. Because we have extracted it. Right. So we already have a tar ball in place, right? And we've seen that the tar ball is giving us quite a big size. Now we still have these extracted folders in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a zip of all those files again that we have in here, right? Let's see, we'll do it. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do that. So I'll return status to, okay, hold on a second. Yeah, right. So one second. Let me remove everything from here, delete, clear all, fine. So what I'm going to do is this. First of all, we're going to tar, let me go with my example that I already have. And then I'll come to the logs later on, that for practice. So tar, we're going to tar the etc file. Let's start with that. Number one. So we're going to tar hyphen create verbosely the file, and that's going to be called mnt, right? Mnt. What do we want to say? Mnt. Yeah. So we're going to create a tar CVF of what we have in here. We're going to call it etc backup. Okay. etc backup dot tar of what? Of the etc folder, right? There we go. Right? We have oh, where did it put it? Where did it put the file for us?
MNT.
Are we in the MNT? Where are we? We are in the MNT. Where did we create that file? Let's see. MNT etc backup dot tar file, right? Of the etc. Oh, you know where it is, right? We have missed a path. It's going to be under backup, right? That's fine. And there's the kind of mistake you can live with because you're in the MNT. We put it under MNT like you said. Okay, there we go. T, there is no T.
Backup spelling.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right. So we have this file, right? So let me remove -rf because I want to show you something very important. Hockey.log, and let's remove everything for okay. So we have this one. Now we are going to create a gzip of that. Let's do gzip. Well, let's do this quickly, which is tar hyphen create verbosely zip file f. Okay. And that particular file is mnt backup / This is the only part people make mistakes at the job. And I made these mistakes before. And we're like, what happened to my file? But because your path has to be absolute. Don't make the mistake of just doing relative path. So mnt backup, we're going to call it etc backup.tar.gz. Okay, of the etc folder. Let's try that. Okay. Now we have the gz. Now let us look at the third one, which is bzip. Okay. We have another one called bzip. These are all being used in the industry. Okay. Tar hyphen create v, and there's going to be small j, and you're going to have f, and again you're going to have the same path mnt back up, and you're going to have etc back up dot tar dot bz2, because this thing is called bzip2. It's not just bzip, it's bzip2. Okay. So let's create that. Ooh, let's see. Oh, sorry. So we have to do for the etc folder. Right. Now we have bz2. Perfect. With rel 10, we have a new one. A new one has come about called xz. This is the latest one. So welcome to the latest one. If you get to your job and you want to use the latest one, has a better compression, has a higher compression than the legacy ones. Okay. But still the bzip2 and gzip are still common. So tar hyphen c verbosely capital J F, and it is mnt back up, and you're going to have etc backup.tar.xz or z. Empty archive, sorry, because you have to state the existing file. This is the ball, and this is the existing file. Sorry. Now, clear, LL. Oh, still doing it? Okay. So now we have the three different ones. Now we're going to run a little command here. Okay. Then I want you guys to take a look at what we're going to do here. We have a command called disk usage, and we're going to use it. So memorize it. We're going to use it. Disk usage. Disk usage equals to du as the command. So I'm going to use the du command, du hyphen s and k. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at etc backup.tar, and let me see if I can put a star. And now you can compare the disk usage. Which one has the lowest versus the highest? Tar is a high ball, right? Gzip is this is in kilobytes, right? 4,700 kilobytes. XZ is 1080. bzip by far is the best, but I don't know if it went through correctly. So rm-rf, and let's remove bzip2. And let us do it one more time. Let's see. Tarzi, I think it is bz2. Yeah, bz2 is small j. Try bz2. Yeah. Let's try that again. Okay, bz2 wrote only 400. So it's saying that command not found, bzip2 command not found. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna just ask Gemini and ChatGPT, tell me what the heck is wrong. That's all I'm gonna ask them to help me out, because I don't want to spend the time troubleshooting this. And go to ChatGPT. You can actually narrow it down to getting an answer. All right, let's see what ChatGPT tells us. Why does bzip2 doesn't work? Okay, we are 3 o'clock. bzip2 is not installed. So tarj. Oh, so it's saying that you need to install DNF install -y bzip2. Okay, so on this distro, Rocky Linux 9, we don't have bzip2. Now we can run, now that it is installed, we can run the command. Right? Successful. There you go. There you go. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, good. Let's do that. Stop. Now you have the numbers. So you can see that bzip2, gzip, it's 4,700 kilobytes. bzip2, when this came out, it has been able to reduce it to 3. The latest one is xz, and look at how good the compression is on that. And that's the one you want to be using moving forward. But if you get to a company, a lot of companies like to use bzip2, and you can see why bzip2 is giving you a better compression than gzip right over here. Okay, so that's all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
ये नदीम भाई, ये जो हम log files copy करते हैं, I mean when we make this backup, so it's on from the live server, right?
We are on a live server, yes, live. It
So
is
so
running.
so how we figure out till what point we make, because logs keep coming.
Yes, yes, yes. So what your mind is disturbing you with is that there are logs that are coming constantly, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is why there is when there is a whole philosophy behind. Let me show you. So that's why we talked about two things. Let me answer that question for you. So what we have said all along is we have a folder called the var folder /var folder, and under the var folder you have logs, and these logs are continuously filling up the file. Yes, that is why you have one thing called log rotate. Log rotate. Log rotate is designed to take your whatever logs, your messages you're getting, and convert them and compress them. Okay, that's one way to do it. The other way we are going to talk about is that once you have done the log rotate, right, you can also use cron. Cron is another methodology in which you can put a timer, right? You have 12 a.m. all the way to 11:59 p.m. That's your 24 hours almost, right? So between 12 a.m. in the morning to 12 in the afternoon, and then right before 12 again, you have 24 hours. In 24 hours, uh, every company will know how fast this is growing. You will know that. The logs are a lot. Like if this was an Uber or an eating app, yes, the messages are coming. That handling of that kind of data is not within the scope of this what we are talking about. We only talk about a single machine here. Okay, this is a single VM. It's not multiple VMs. So you have data coming related to an application maybe running on this machine, and it's filling up the logs, and you will see thousands of logs coming through. So that's why a company has a philosophy. When you look at this one, let me show you, answer your question. Um, you're going to have something called DF-H, right? So DF-H or DF-H, this is your file system. The type of file system is being used. We're going to talk about them. Then here are your sizes. So we're going to learn in disk management, that you have different partitions, right? You have different partitions. And each size that you see here, uh, size that is allocated, okay, like here you see it says 12G allocated. One partition is 12G. One partition is 960 megabytes. One is 850. Okay. So different partitions have different sizes. You have to know, which we're going to do in disk management, if your var folder is over here. If your var folder is over here and it is filling up fast, you will see that the difference between your used and available, the distance will not be much. Now you have used 6.6, so much is available. 16K, only 100K used, 100K available. You see, there's so much available here. In many companies, you will come down and it will say, right here, for example, it will say 7.7G used, 7.78 available. You know right away there's a problem, right? Right?
Yes.
AK1 is used. You have used
Yes.
7.7, available is 7.8. So in the logging philosophy, what you do is you find out where is my folder, and is this folder responsible for this 7.7G? And if it is, we got to move the data out quickly. Otherwise, the machine can potentially get stuck or crash, or you will not be able to do much with it. So we are going to learn disk management. Then we'll come back to log and we'll put the whole picture and the puzzle together. So they're all working together. Logs are in the var. Logs is filling up the space. Space is being showed up in this command. And then we are trying to move these logs out all the time through NFS. And we are trying to keep it empty as much as we can. Or what else can we do? So when we do disk management next week, we'll come back to this. We are going to piece this all together. It's like a puzzle, a fabric. So you have one piece of puzzle right there, right? And then you have another piece of puzzle. You're gonna come up here. Is gonna connect to this one. So one is disk management, okay, disk management, and one is logging. So logging and disk management go hand in hand. They're like together. Make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Right. If any other questions, let me know. If not, then we can call it an evening.